Hello, everybody. It's Nicola here,
Hi.
Conscious Crypto Traders,
Hi,
and
and I'm Teresa.
Teresa.
Good to see you all. Boy, wasn't that a ride yesterday? Holy
Yes,
cow.
indeed.
First day of the Shemitah year that we were talking about last week.
Yep.
I never would have predicted it on the very first day of the Shemitah year, but that's something a lot of the people who study these long-term cycles say right at the beginning or right at the end of the Shemitah year, we often see a massive dump. Who would have figured it's on the very first day? Holy cow.
Yeah.
That caught a
And
lot of us by surprise.
exactly, we have done a number of shorter videos with Sharon von Langer on the Shemitah Year, as
Yeah.
well as when we talk in our live streams. So if you're not subscribed and you don't want to be caught with your pants down with a really wide stop loss when these things happen, you want to subscribe to our channel because we're giving you the edge. We're giving you the scenarios and potential dates and months where, you know, we could see some upward or downward price-ward action, pumping and dumping, as they say. So
And I
let's
just
get,
want to call Jeroen van Lange as a frickin' prophet
yes,
because he was talking about Shemitah years, 8, 9 months ago. Like, guys, watch, this is coming up in
in
September.
September.
I can't wait to hear what he has to say at our Conscious Crypto event. He is so solid at understanding some of these long-term trends. I'm just
Yeah.
super excited to see what he dives into at the event.
The next early bird special for our Conscious Crypto event online using Zoom, it's going to be fun, is the 15th of September. So you need to get your ticket by the 15th of September, unless you like paying more money for it. It's 3 days of workshops, learning in advanced technical analysis, mindset, strategies, how to trade the super cycle. So much information. We'll talk a bit more at the end of the live stream. But today, and that link, I think, Jeffrey, if you drop the link in there, it's theconsciouscryptoevent.com/2021. And the link is actually in the description of this live stream. So downward channel, right, Teresa? It's like at first it looked like, oh, this is a bear flag and we could keep going down further. Well, we are going down further, but not as a bear flag, more as a descending channel, which is a bullish pattern, right?
Yeah. You know, one of the things, though, that I'm learning with crypto that is a little bit more distinct from other, stocks, commodities, Forex, is really pay attention to the location of the wicks. Because sometimes there's a structure around the wicks too, right? I don't trade the wicks, but I pay attention to them. And so we might have actually a bear pennant forming there too, right? So,
well, that's what I was saying, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. What I was saying, it looked like a bear pennant, but it's gone on a bit too long. Like normally the bear pennant would have broken out about here, like last night, this morning, and it started to rain here. Sorry, and I don't have my headset in, so I'll speak a bit closer. But it didn't do that, so it's just gone on a bit too long to be a bear pennant. But that doesn't mean it's not. It could break down to the downside. We'll talk about potential dumps coming up and why. And but generally, this is a bullish pattern. And when you break out of a downward trend, you go back up to where the candle touches the beginning of the trend, which is back up at 48,000. So we could come up to 48,000 and then correct down a bit. So we'll talk a little bit more in detail about that when we've had a look at the bigger picture. But Ethereum's in the same position. It's right up against resistance. Look at the Ichimoku cloud predicting another potential dump here. XRP is the same, right? Strong dump here, downward channel, even though this is a descending channel, but it could just mean that we're about to go back down to the bottom of the channel and create a lower low, right? Because look at this, Teresa, even this is XRP, even those wicks, apart from the first one, which is manipulation, is doing slightly higher lows. So we'll see. 8 is the same. Look at that, only it's a lot steeper. And the Ichimoku cloud looking like there's further correction. So I want to zoom out and have a look at the really big picture of what's happened. If we go out onto the daily, would you say we're still in a bullish trend there, Teresa? Higher lows, right?
Well, right now we have not pierced the EMA ribbon on the daily candles from the standpoint of actually crossed over the ribbon. So, you know, if this continues, you know, we might be flipping bearish, but I think at the moment on the daily and the weekly, we can still say we're still on the bullish cycle.
Yeah.
Right. And this is just a correction within it. The
Yeah.
wick pierced, you know, the wick pierced the EMA ribbon, but the bulls fought back. They fought back hard with the bounce there. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days.
Yeah. So look at this. The golden ratio sits at around 41,000-ish, around 41,087 for the entire market structure. So it fell, but didn't come all the way down to retest that as a support. So that's actually quite a good sign, right? So here's the deal, guys. It is up to you. If you're an experienced trader, obviously you're going to trade the bounce, or you've already traded the bounce. You're in a long, if you're an experienced scalper, because this is a channel, you can long to the top and then you can short to the bottom. But if you're not an experienced trader, this is a time of uncertainty. So you wait until there is consolidation and then a clear direction in a long and a clear direction in a short before you enter. And that would be across all of the coins right now. It's like it's a waiting game. Now it is the 8th. We've just had the Shemitah Year, and it's like every single time we have a Shemitah Year, there's always rumblings in the stock market, in the financial markets in general, and we've also seen this traditionally in the the crypto markets. And Shemitah Years usually always have some big stock market crash as well. So we got to watch out for that. But let's have a look at this fractal. I've updated it as I promised you. I said I would do that last Wednesday. Well, I've done it. Oopsie daisy, where am I? Remember this Saturn retrograde fractal that we've been looking at. Here are some dates of potential pumps and dumps. Let me go over this. If you're new to the channel, would love for you to subscribe, by the way. We are doing a tutorial channel, and we're doing stuff on this channel that nobody else is doing. So you're going to get some really good information here. Last year, 2020, Saturn, the planet Saturn, goes retrograde, which means it tips on its axis. Always when that happens, the financial markets do a jitter because Saturn rules finance, commerce, business, right? And so what happened last year in 2020 is just as we come into Saturn retrograde, we dumped, and then we started going back up again to recover. At the top here in the black in 2021, we did the exact same thing. Coming into retrograde, we dumped, then started coming back up quite slowly. And then from that position of where we went up, we then traded sideways for a very long time, 2.5 months in fact. And that was exactly the same at the bottom in 2020. We traded sideways. But what happened in the last month is the trading didn't go as high and it didn't go as low. So it tightened. And that's exactly what we saw in 2021. Now, we've been saying that there might be a really big pump coming in, but like in the first week of August, the last few days of July. And if you come up to 2021, that's exactly what happened. We started pumping out of the pattern, eventually had a correction. And then on the 2nd of August, I predicted we would have a rally. Actually, it was a couple of days later. And that's based on this fractal. Now, in 2020, we created a Bart Simpson. You'll see here straight up, here across, straight down. We didn't do that in 2021 because there were other influences. Jupiter was around, which is a planet of expansion. And there were all sorts of other things that were coming in. But what we did have is a very slow and steady climb. Now, so here are some dates to look out for. The 7th of September was a predicted dump day potential that we had to be alerted to because of Shemitah. But the date the 15th, well, actually the 11th of September through to the 15th of September, we could have a larger dump. And according to the fractal comparison between 2020 and 2021, the actual dump date may be on or around the 15th. It could be the 14th or the 15th of September. However, in Vedic astrology, the almanac predicts that the 11th, we've got to be very careful. So let's have a look at what could potentially happen. We could consolidate, continue to go down, have a little bit of a pump between now and Friday night. These are all American, North American or Northern Hemisphere dates, by the way. So you guys down under are going to have to put it a day before. And I would also mark your calendars the day before anyway, because sometimes there is a rumbling before we shift over into those dates. So it depends on what your time zone's in, right? So we could have some, well, we are having some consolidation, have a little bit of a pump upwards to that line that I spoke about in Bitcoin, coming back up to 48.65, maybe even going up to this resistance line, testing 49, and then coming back down. This is speculation, by the way. This is not predicting. And then get a bigger dump. Now in 2020, the Saturn retrograde dump came just above the support line of where the beginning of the Bart Simpson was. It didn't go all the way down to the bottom to test the support of where it started. So I have put here that it's possible that we may not come down to 27,000. In fact, I highly doubt we're going that low. We may come down to retest somewhere between 38,278 and 44,500, just somewhere around there. So write that down, mark that down. And then once we come down, the good news is if we're still following the same general idea after the 15th, so on the 16th of September, we could then start doing what we did in 2021, which is slowly going up, have another little bit of a correction before we hit Saturn progressive, which means Saturn comes out of retrograde, it shifts its axis, and it's moving in a different magnetic field. And as we know, magnetic fields, frequency, and all of that kind of thing can affect human consciousness and human behavior. Just ask my mother, who used to be a surgeon's nurse in ER on full moon night, right? Your dad was the same too, Teresa, right? He was a doctor and...
Yeah, he used to always say whenever there's a full moon, you'll see a much higher birth rate. You'll see a lot more, craziness happening in the medical field.
Lunacy.
So yeah, he used to talk about that a lot. Yeah.
Lunacy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey guys, we don't have many likes for this video and we're giving real good stuff. So I'd love for you to help us out with the channel and click like so YouTube knows that, we're worth keeping. Thanks. So Saturn progressive this year is 10th of October. Last year it was 28th of September. Now, if you have a look at last year, we did do a bit of a dip, but then we go up into that parabolic run, right? Now, layered on top of this is Mercury retrograde from September 27th to October 7th. And Mercury retrograde in a bear cycle usually means a dump and then a consolidation. And in a bear market, it could be a slight dip and then a big pump, or it could just be a takeoff pump. So write those dates down as well, maybe even screenshot this. So you've got all those dates available. You can put them on your trading charts and you can put them on your calendars to give you alerts. And I would even put the alert the day before. So in terms of looking at where the next cycle is going to then start taking off, it's going to be somewhere between the 10th and maybe the 11th, 12th, 13th of October, where we start to see the slow move up into that parabolic run into those higher prices. And some people are predicting Bitcoin's even going to be $100,000. Now we have a new Discord channel and all of the dates in October, November, and December are being uploaded into Discord over the next couple of days. So you can write the full dates of what's actually happening and what could affect price, because there's also another thing coming up, Teresa, which I forgot to tell you about. When Mars does something, it's like when Mars gets excited, Elon Musk has an aspect that's very compatible with Mars, and he usually tweets on that day, and Bitcoin does a rumbling. How cool is that?
Interesting. That is cool. I didn't know that. That's fun.
So all those deets are in our Discord server. It's called Conscious Crypto. And the link should be in the description below. If it's not, it'll be in one of our other videos, and certainly at the end of this video I'll go make sure it's in there. But you join our Discord server, you're going to get daily support with the community, with your trading, and to be able to ask questions, get a little bit more in-depth technical analysis on these dates to watch out for. So should we look at, let's look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP and see if there's any
let's
play.
do it.
Excuse me.
After the roller coaster, that was a bit of a ride yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have a strategy that I train for how to trade market dumping, because you don't want to be caught unawares and deer in the headlights when that's going on.
Yeah, you want to know in advance. And Teresa, what happened with me is I was right here. When this dumped here, I was in a long, and some of them were in profit and some of them had just dipped under 2% loss, right? And I just got this really strong feeling that it was going to go lower. So I just got out of all of my trades, so I didn't have these big losses, thank goodness. But there were millions of dollars lost. A lot of people were liquidated because they didn't have their stop losses in the right place, right?
And congratulations to those of you who shorted that. You've
Yes.
got to have your wits about you if you're going to do that market dumping situation. Personally, I've got to be right at the computer, glued to the computer if I'm shorting in a situation like that. And I wasn't yesterday, so I didn't. But for those of you who had the presence of mind and were present to what's going on, congratulations, because those are the opportunities to make massive amounts of money when you learn how to trade them properly.
Yeah, that was an 18.6% dump. So on 10x leverage, that's 180%. Cool, great. So with Bitcoin, guys, it's possible we could be breaking out. If you want to trade this long all the way up to the fulfillment of this triangle, we need a confirmation that this candle was a breakout, which means that around about 46,595, we want to see a clear green candle with Ichimoku cloud looking bullish to take us up to 47,996 approximately.
Really pay attention to the fact that the breakout is right at the bottom of the EMA ribbon. Because we often see a bounce up or a bounce down off the EMA ribbon. So even though that's looking like a confirmed breakout, personally, I'm really paying attention to that. Exactly what Nicola said. I want to see it pierce the EMA ribbon before I enter a trade, because it so often bounces down.
Yeah. See, I'm not going to be entering along until we get above this Fibonacci level at 48, and then even above the EMA, like you said, at 48,414, or I'll get into a long if we come all the way down and retest one of these lower levels. And the reason for that is, look at this Ichimoku cloud red. Red is in front of us, and when the Ichimoku cloud is red, it is not a time to long unless there are other clear indicators showing us that there is some other action. And if you bring in the 4 EMA indicator, we're stacked red, yellow, blue, green, which means we could start to be turning, but this is still short. This is still short material.
And so to quote Nicola, don't mess with the Ichimoku cloud.
We'd love you to like that one. Don't mess with the Ichimoku cloud. If we come down into the 15-minute, we're still in the red, which means there's a lot of resistance. So this is really just trading for experienced scalpers, right? Because there aren't those longer, bigger trades there. If we come down into the 15, so if we come down into the 5-minute, we've got Ichimoku cloud green, which means we could see a continuation up to, back to maybe 46,490 or above. But that's what we need to watch. But here's the deal. The red is about to cross over to the top. And when red on the 4 EMA is at the top, that means that we're going to do a little bit more dumping. So we are creating lower highs. So it could just come up, fail to break above and come back down again. There's just too much resistance here for me to get involved in it. And I don't even know if I would short this because I would want to be inside the resistance, under the resistance, heading downwards to short it down to, 44,100, or, it might touch this line here. So bottom line is safeguarding my capital. Yes.
Yeah, I think it bears mentioning here, one of the most important skills you talk about with your Crypto Ninjas group a lot is the skill of waiting and knowing when to wait,
Patience.
right? Like knowing when to wait is the number one skill to make money as a trader, right? So personally, right now, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what's going on. Yeah.
I don't, because here's the deal, guys. This next move is going to be a really big move. So whether it's a big move further to, dumping further to the downside, September is a bit of a choppy month anyway. October is a bumper month. So there's plenty of opportunities coming up Sunday night, maybe Monday morning, Tuesday, once it's finished its consolidation. And then again, remember, we've got a potential dump happening on Friday night. These are US times. Could be Friday night, Saturday morning, according to the Vedic astrology, the 11th to the 15th. So from the 16th onwards, maybe earlier, maybe the 15th, do it a day before if you're down under, there's going to be an opportunity for a long that's going to go long, 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 long. That's what I think. So that means that you don't want to be losing your capital when there's uncertainty in the market and it's not there for you when you go to trade the bigger trades that are going to give you way more money. Does that make sense? Crypto, sorry. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, exactly the same as Ethereum, guys. We're at resistance, so you wouldn't enter along. You would wait for the a red candle to come under 3, 4, 5, 8, and then if the Ichimoku cloud is going down, it's red, which it is. You could short this all the way down to 3262. You could even take 75% out, leaving 25% in for a wick, a potential wick at 3192.
Yeah, I love how the XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, several other coins are all rhyming right now.
Yeah.
You could just say, see the technical analysis for the last coin, and you'd be good,
Yeah.
because
XRP
they're
is
all
the
look
same.
very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. XRP is the same. It's right under resistance. So you wouldn't long this because it's hitting resistance.
Where have we seen that chart before?
Yeah, exactly. But I basically what I'm going to be doing is at 1 o'clock, which is at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, which is in 1 hour and 7 minutes, approximately. In 1 hour, 7 minutes, the Ichimoku cloud is looking pretty dumpy all the way down here for a few hours. So I would be sitting watching, getting all my trades ready to short this. Now, here's the only thing. Every now and then, and we've just had market manipulation, you do get market manipulation. You see these things, and then the price action will just cut right through that, right? So that's what I would be doing. I'd be, setting my alarm for, say, 1:45, 12:30 maybe, sitting in front of my computer and for an hour, and then just watching this and jumping in to short it down to wherever it's going to be. And the target, because this is a downward channel, the target's obviously going to be the bottom of the channel. So depending on where it hits, it could bounce off of $1.06. It could come all the way back down to $1, and then it could even dip back down into 99 cents. So that's XRP. So watch for that.
Yeah, if that's one you're watching live, that's where I would absolutely pay attention to the wicks, because it very likely might wick down to the lower support line there.
Yeah.
So if you're trading the short, you probably want to take some profit out at the upper of those two lines, but you might be able to ride it all the way down. So if you're watching live, a little bit of patience might make you a lot more money.
Yeah. And in this volatile market, what I've been doing, Teresa, a lot more is taking 50 to 75% off at the resistance line or the support line, and then coming back in after the correction's been made. And the whole trade ends up making a lot more than if I just held it open for the ultimate. So that means like I said before, take some profit as soon as it hits the support level. And if you think it's going to go down further, leave 10%, 25% in for that wick. So you set that up. We've got a whole channel on Femex, playlist on Femex, and we've got a whole playlist on
We're just
Bybit.
uploading it this week. So Bybit's already up and Femex has gone up over the couple days. So yeah.
So Teresa has done some tutorials on on how you do that, because basically what you would do is you would set your ultimate take profit, but then you would do a limit take profit, which means you're limiting the amount of tokens that you're taking out once it hits a certain target. So watch out for those. Go over to our playlists. On that note, we're going to start a new playlist on NFTs and creating your own NFTs, because I'm in the process of a really big idea. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. So 8 is the same, guys. It's right up against resistance, coming up within the next hour and a half to another potential dump, although, it's not so much of a dump, but a downward action here. So it's caution time.
Yeah, I keep having the Sesame Street song in my head play. One of these things is not like the other, but I'm like looking for the chart that song matches, and I can't find it. They're all like carbon copies of each other right now.
Well,
So
let's have a look.
fascinating.
Let's have a look. There's
yeah,
Crow.
really. Oh, well, there we go. There's the one that's looking a little different. Yeah, it's not too different though. Yeah,
not too different. No, that's not different at all. It's just not on a steep. It's just not on a steep decline.
Yeah.
Did you buy it? Same.
Yeah, they're just like, they're all, I was scanning through earlier and they're all carbon copies of each other.
Here's the other thing to watch too, after we've just painted a picture of a bit of doom gloom. That's a W, right? Yeah. So if we do break out, let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has no, Bitcoin doesn't have a W so much. Ethereum did. Yeah, Ethereum, there we go.
Yeah, Ethereum's got a W.
If we do break out, then how you draw the target is at the neckline. So that would take us above the target of the breakout of the descending channel. The target for a descending channel is where the first candle touches the beginning of the formation of the channel. So the W would take our Ethereum up to 3705. Now, a lot of W's in a bearish cycle do not play out, and the Ichimoku cloud and the 4 EMA are not signifying that we go up that high, but it is a possibility. So
and one of the things that is important to remember with W's, they're more likely bullish if the second V of the W is a higher low or an equivalent low. When it's a lower low, the probability of breaking upward is a lot lower, right? So that's where you hear people talk about double bottoms, where they're at the same height or if the other is higher. That would be a lot more bullish as a W. But that said, sometimes a lower low still breaks upwards. So, this is one of those, I'm not trading it, but I'm paying attention to it, because if we do see a strong breakout, I might change my mind.
Exactly. I'm setting up for a bigger trade, right? I'm setting up for the big one, so that I'm preserving my capital, and obviously you have your own strategies and what have you. So for those of you who are new to our channel, we are a tutorial channel. We teach strategies, we teach technical analysis, scenarios that may affect price action that you need to look out for. We've just started a Discord server, link below. Love for you to join the community. We're fledgling and we're growing really fast, which is awesome. And also we do interviews with some of the top crypto traders, as many of them are our friends, and many of them are going to be speaking at our 3-day online event where we're workshopping, learning so much to prepare for the super cycle. And so that's coming up in on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of October, which is around about few days after, where we may start to see the rally and we may start to see the pump up. So you're going to be getting front row seats to speakers like Chris from Crypto, Da Vinci J15, Crypto Wendy, Blockchain Today, Bitcoin Family, Sian Kenshin and Stephanie from the Executive Alchemist and Mind Hacker, Offshore Citizen, and Emery talking about taxes and offshore and setting yourself up so that you don't lose all of those profits in the super cycle to the tax people. Digital Asset News, Dan's got some really great strategies for exit. Lisa Spiridon is going to be talking about how you buy your crypto, when to buy and sell based on numerology, which is super exciting. Then you've got us. We do have a couple of mystery guests that we're not quite sure whether they're going to make it or not, but that's the lineup right now. We're going to have hour-long workshops with some of these speakers where you're going to dive deep into some sort of strategy, technical analysis. Didi Taihutu is going to talk about how to live off grid, so you're not dealing with cryptocurrency at all. Is it true? He doesn't deal with sorry, not cryptocurrency.
He lives entirely on Bitcoin. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
He lives his whole life on Bitcoin, does not use the fiat system at all. So he's just a fascinating guy to talk to and a really solid trader. Actually, he's the inventor of my absolute favorite indicator. So I'm really looking forward to see what he has to say.
As well. Yeah. Cool. So I think it's going to be a great lineup. We're going to have expert panels. You'll learn so much. We're going to have breakout sessions so that you can workshop your strategies. We'll look at price tops for altcoins and Bitcoin and dates for when the market may top out. And then, we may not go into a 4-year bear cycle anymore. So we're going to talk a lot about that and what signs to look out for. So much is going to be covered in the 3 days, as well as being able to network. I highly recommend you go over to our website, theconsciouscryptoevent.com/2021. Link is in the description, and get your ticket because prices go up every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and guys, if you even make one more solid investment, one more solid trade, or improve your overall tax setup by even a little bit because of this event will pay for itself in a heartbeat.
Oh, it's
right?
So cheap.
And it's a fundraiser. It's for a really good cause. The money's going into paving and other infrastructure projects down here in our community. In Costa Rica, all the public roads have to be supported by private entities, like to pay for the asphalt and stuff. The government does the paving, but people have to donate the materials. So thank you all for all your existing contributions too, because we've already been able to put $18,000 into local roads. So thank you guys. This event's going to help a lot more with that.
Totally. So that's it for today. We'll see you again on Friday. We are uploading tutorial videos daily. I think we're going on to a schedule of uploading 2 a day. So make sure you've subscribed, hit the bell, click all, because you can learn really good charting, good technical analysis, how to spot trade, how to margin trade, what to do with your HODL position, where to put your money to keep it, safe and staking. We're going to go into NFTs soon, since we're creating that, and you don't want to miss out on that. So you want to make sure you're subscribed, and we would appreciate your help in liking liking this video if you did like what we're giving and you feel like it's got value for you, and that lets YouTube know that you're interested in more of our videos, but it also helps us out in staying on YouTube to show that we are giving value, which we are. So cool.
Yeah. One of the reasons we created this channel, guys, and especially why we created the Conscious Crypto event, is because there are whole conversations that we know you need to become part of the upper 1% of traders that simply aren't happening on YouTube. Nobody's having those conversations around mindset. Where do you trip yourself up? How do you stop yourself from entering a trade you shouldn't? So we created this event for you because we are really committed to you guys becoming one of that upper 1%. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the event, guys.
Yeah. And also just on that note, because of censorship on YouTube and because of deplatforming, and just yesterday, Crypto got deplatformed on Twitter again. Because of all of that, there are things these guys can't say, yet they're critical to your success as a crypto trader. So you're going to hear about all of that. You're going to hear stuff you won't hear anywhere else. So make sure you get in on your ticket. There are, like if you're a little bit strapped for cash, there are, what do you call it? Time payments. Those time payments will be not available in the next couple of weeks, because obviously we're going into October. This is in the beginning of October. So it's not quite a month away. It's just a little over a month away. And it's on Zoom. So tickets are, there's only so many people we can get on Zoom. So as soon as the tickets are sold, then there's no opportunity for you to come live, get to meet the speakers, get to talk to them, get to network with others, network your strategies, network your altcoin strategies and your exit strategies. So make sure you're there. And until we meet again on Wednesday, what do we say, Teresa?
Friday. Yeah. Trade consciously.
Friday. Friday.
Yeah.
Trade consciously. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
There
guys.
we go.
See you later.
Good
Bye.
to see you guys. Trade well.
Great.
Awesome.